Okay. This is going to be a day of mobility and especially opening through your core, your chest, your back, and your shoulders. Yes, we're going to work with hips and knees. We are going to be in the floor. So if you can get in the floor, get in the floor. So I'm going to only say this once for people pulling this up and they haven't been here. You can do every bit of these things on your bed. Okay. A lot of them you can do from a chair, period. So pick your poison. I don't know if that's a good word, but anyway, in relationship to my class. Anyway, here we go. Are you ready? I want to make sure my sound is definitely up. Yes, it is. Okay. All right. So if I was going to be in a bed, see, I would just have it close by so that any time that I get down into the floor, you can do that. However, if you want to do some of the things from the chair, you absolutely can. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with, see, I'm going to put my hand here on the chair. Now I don't even have to bend. See, I can put it here or I can put it here. The point is or you could put your hand on a wall or you could put your hand on the bed, because all I want you to do is a pendulum, a really good pendulum. So I'm going to do a lot of rotationals today. I'm going to use some pillows, plain old pillows, okay? For my teachers, it's pillow. I know that. I just preferred pillow. Okay, here we go. As a matter of fact, one of my students, so here's what's happening. When I'm starting you in this move, see, this can be a very challenging move or a less challenging move. See how I'm right here? My butt is still pushed back. I'm breathing in through the nose. I'm dropping my shoulders. I'm softening my knees. Now, what am I doing? So I want to be in a position where I can get stability, either on a wall, a chair, or a low chair. And I want my arm to free swing. Now look at your neck, okay? So many times when we get into this position, the minute that I even start approaching a down position, I don't care if it's a modified down position or all the way down to the chair or into the floor, I see people do this with their neck. The minute they start going down, they go like this. See this? This is not what I don't want. Tuck your chin. Tighten. Push your butt back. Your knees are soft. You can go down here and you start a very tiny pendulum from the shoulder. Keep your chin tucked. And I'm going into the balls of my feet. Then I'm shifting. We did all this as well on Monday's class. Okay, now I'm going to go wider, but I'm not lifting. I'm doing a pendulum. Okay, and if you need to turn so that you can do a wider pendulum, that's good. But see, I'm on the balls of my feet. My heels are barely lifted. My butt is pushing back. And I'm going to go slowly. And I'm going to go around. And then I'm going to go the other way. Start small. Shift into your heels. Pull your toes up. Shift into the midfoot. Lift your heels up. So now I'm going the opposite way. And I'm doing a very controlled chin tuck. Press your butt back, and you're doing a pendulum from your shoulder at the same time with your hand on a bed, a counter, a wall. You're going shifting into the toes, into the heels. Now go into this kind of a stance where you got your elbows over your knees. Take a big deep breath. Now take that arm that you just did a pendulum on and go way over here. So see what I'm doing? I'm bending one knee. I'm straightening one knee. I'm going all the way over here and I'm tapping. See that? Then I'm going to come back. I'm going to do that again. Bend one knee, straighten one knee, tuck your chin, take a breath in through the nose, and then I'm going to come up. Okay? So if you chose to do that whole work that we just did with your hand on top of the kitchen chair, that's fine. Keep your knees bent. Everything else is the same. See? We do the pendulum. And then we go to this. Whether or not we go ahead and touch down, I still have my hand right here. See? And I'm bending, straightening. And I'm pulling across that shoulder that I just did the pendulum swing on. So you may not go all the way down and touch the floor. That's okay. Okay? So I'm giving you modifications, those of you, because our goal is to manage and then push it so that we can move a little bit better. Okay? Now I'm going to go to the other side. You'll see what I'm going to do. I'm turning this just because so you can see what I'm doing. You don't have to do anything but go to the other side, as long as you can see what's going on. You get to choose. Here, this level, see this? That's the position at this level. So yeah, we're going through the warm-up. Rotationals, modifications at this height. Tuck my chin, breath into the nose. Okay? Drop your shoulders, or this height. Okay? So we want to get into a position where we have a tabletop back, whether it's this position or this position. You get to choose. It could be a bed. I'm just using a chair because it's here. But you want a tabletop right here. And then you start little. See how I can free swing this? So it's a pendulum. So at this point, don't let your head drop below your butt. See, drop down so that you can pendulum. I'm going to go one way, very small. It's not a slingy action. And as I'm doing this pendulum, notice what I'm doing with my feet. I kept my little socks on so you can see my feet against this floor that's flesh toned. Okay, bring your heels up. See the pendulum? It's a circular. My hand is here, my shoulder is down. I got my hand right here because that's the one I chose. You could choose up here, that would be fine, but you're still in the same position. Keep your chin tucked. Couple more times this one way, shift into the toes, lift the heels, shift back into the heels, lift the toes. And when you do lift the toes on this, I want you to open your toes, okay? Keep it going. Tight tummy, keep your chin tucked. Now go a little wider, a little slower, a little wider with that pendulum. See how I'm going, 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 going? Okay, I'm gonna go the other way, start little. Go into the heels now. Raise your toes, keep your chin tucked. Drop your shoulders, both of your shoulders. Okay, go wider. Wider. Now go into your toes, lift the heels. Wider with that pendulum. Okay, go back into the heels. Okay, now here we're going to take this hand and reach across. And we're going to bend one knee and straighten one leg. Okay, and we're just going to tap over here. Again, here's the modification. If you chose this and you did your pendulums, you just reach over like this. You bend one knee and straighten as you try to reach down there. See that? And then you come back up. So you should have reached far enough that you actually felt it back here. Okay? Rotationals. Yes. Here's a rotation. Here's a rotation. Here's a rotation. Step back. So if you just bent into that move that we did just now, and then you come up and you rotate and you rotate. And here's what I want you to notice. How far are you able to get your hands down here before you start to scrunch your shoulders up. I know, I caught you. It's exactly what I would expect from any slug in my class, and I love slugs. So here we go again. Drop your shoulders. Here's my hands, right? Chin is tucked. Yes. Breath into the nose. I'm going to start rotating. Okay, get ready. Because right about here is when I start to make those compensatory moves that I don't want you to make. See, I'm really pushing those hands down and trying not to raise my shoulders. Come back. I know it. Now put those hands behind your head. You can do one at a time, or you can just put your fingers right behind your head, right there where the fingers are just barely touching, okay? Take a big breath. So open, open, open. So pretend that I'm right there in front of you, and my little hands are pushing right here. Gently, but they're pushing. So if my hands are pushing, what would you do with your elbows is the point. See that? See what I did? I just shifted with my hands, not interlaced, but touching the back of my skull, okay? And I'm pushing with my fingertips, and I'm pushing back with my head as I step across my midline. Then I come back, take a big deep breath through your nose, drop your shoulders. One more step. Okay, push the elbows back. Yeah, push your fingertips into your head. Push them into your head. Keep your head pushing back. See, I just want to go across midline, across midline. Drop your shoulders again. Okay, now release. Come right here. Step back. Now keep your shoulders down. Keep your shoulders down. Keep your shoulders down. Rotating. This is where it gets hard for me. Right there. Yeah. Should be feeling this in those shoulders. They should be just cranking and like, how far are you going to go here? And then come back and then come down. How do you feel? I know. I told you this was going to be opening in through the shoulders, the chest, etc. And we're going to be on the floor, or you can be on the chair, or you can be on a bed. Okay. Ruby and Mac prefer the bed. Okay, back to our rotations. So I'm going to step right here. I'm going to bend my knees slightly. Breathing in through the nose. I'm going to go into a heel lift. Okay. Some of you should have a chair in front of you that you gently use, lightly use, because when you bend your knees and you lift your heels, everything falls apart and you're grabbing for something. So you either have a pole, or you have a chair, or you have a wall, something. Okie dokie. So drop the shoulders, breathing in through the nose. I want you to bring those heels up. So this is definitely a rotational move. And what is it mostly affecting? Well, if you're hip hinging like you're supposed to be doing, see how I'm pushing my hips forward when I go into my toes? My toes are all splayed. Now I drop into my heels and I push the hip back as I'm saying rib cage up. Woo! Here we go. Have this here if you need it, or a pole, and you're up on your toes. Okay, you're just working to keep your balance there. Now push back into your butt. Keep your chin tucked. So you're doing a rotation up through the back for sure, through the hips for sure. And when you start to raise your toes, whoa, have that chair or something ready, because it's gonna mess with your balance. It's supposed to. So when you do grab the chair, don't like just pull it to you. Don't wait that long. Just barely touch it. Okay. Now push your butt back. That's the key. See, my toes are up. My toes are splayed. You can't see that because I have socks on, because I want you to be able to see my feet. Then when I come into here, see, I'm going to lift my heels. So that's tons of rotations, front to back, okay? Big breath, drop it back down, bring those hands in, come up over your head, and I want you to just look at your elbows. So it should be right in front of your eyes or your nose. Your knees are soft, bringing those heels up, bringing your elbows in. And see, I'm just resting my hands on my thumb side right here on top of my head. Keep your chin tucked. Pull those elbows in. Should be able to see them. So play with the feet a little bit. Push into the toe box. Then go lightly to the heel. Pull the elbows in again. They keep letting go. Some of you are wondering how I knew that. Because I know you. Take a big breath. Elbows in, elbows in, elbows in, elbows in. Okay, lift the elbows, lift the elbows, lift the elbows, and just put your thumbs at the base of your neck. Breath, breath, breath. Now you're shifting, 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 shifting. Side to side, side to side, side to side. Bring it back down. Bring your elbows in. Bring your elbows in. Bring your elbows in. Drop it down and open. Yeah, just like that. Okay. If you're opening right now, take a look and what are your elbows doing? Because if they're doing this, we don't want them there. We want them like this. See that? I know it. Take a big deep breath and bring it back down. Okay. Continuing the rotational mantra that we've chosen today. Okie dokie. I have my warm, it's going to be cold today. This would be a snow day. As a matter of fact, it's already a snow day. They've already called off so many schools. Okay, what am I doing? Number one, I'm shifting, okay? Number two, I'm doing what's called a hip hike. See this? Do it on both sides, because when you go to swing your leg and you have your hip hiked, see, this is hip hike, tight tummy, drop your shoulders, big breath in through the nose. Yeah, keep your chin tucked. See the hip hike? See, it's a straight leg. Many of you are going, what's the big deal? I don't understand. Just bend your knee. No, don't bend your knee. I want you to get that rise on your foot level from hiking your hip, okay? This, what we're doing right now, is a very nuanced move. Means little tiny, thoughtful moves, okay? See this? See this? So when you do this hip hike, you're fully on the other leg. You're just barely using a toe tap. Your leg is straight. Now, bring it to level. So here's the hip, the iliac crest right here, hip bone, see? There's a joke here somewhere. I won't go there. Kathy is rolling her eyes. I know it. Okay. Back to the hip hike. See? My thumbs are right here at my hip bones, and I feel that. Straight leg. Over here, it's a little tiny soft knee, and then I bring it down. So this has great implications for mid to lower back, for sure. Okay, bend the knee, okay? If you have a hip replaced, as I do, on this kind of a thing, for sure, if you soften your knee to get this leg straight and to hike up this hip, okay, you are going to overlean if you don't put your hand on something to steady yourself with, okay? Take a big breath in through the nose, and then play with a little bit of a pendulum swing from the hip joint, okay? Now, unless you're looking at a mirror, or unless somebody's standing in front of you giving you a readout of what you're doing, many of you don't realize it, but you bend at the knee on your swinging leg. which is what I don't want you to do, because we're going to do pendulum work. We're going to go front to back, and I'm holding myself in a hip hike situation. So what does that mean? That means you are really working your back extensors. So people that want to do a lot of activities and they are always have a delicate back, this is one they should try to use for warming up for sure. Okay, steady. It should have, if you did it right, you should have gotten very tight on one side. Okay, that's why I didn't want to hang out there for too much longer. I wanted you to feel it. But now soften your knees and then do these tiny little turns, okay? So now I'm just turning from my belly button up. I'm not turning the hips on this one. I'm just recovering, see? These two, for somebody that wants to strengthen a delicate back, and they're always afraid of doing anything lifting wise or moving wise because, oh, I might pull my back out. Wrong-headed. Yes, you need to be mindful, but you need to do movement. So the hip hike thing, big deal. As a matter of fact, generally people will get you to do a hip hike by using our little pads here, you know, our little, this 2 inches, but I'm not using it right now because I'm doing it just on the floor, okay? So tighten in, number 1. Drop your shoulders, number 2. This was the leg I was working on, right? Now I'm going to shift. Now all my weight is going to be here, okay? Tight tummy, breathing in through the nose, tuck my chin. Here's my stability chair. It could be a wall. It could be a pole, whatever. I did my recovery, okay? I didn't do this huge swing thing. And I see people do huge swings all the time while they're getting ready to, you know, do whatever they're going to do. No, let's do some more nuanced moves. Let's bring these hands right into here. You can do whatever you want to with them. And don't move from your belly button down. Move from your belly button up, okay? And you're just going a little with your tummy tight. And you might do 20 of these. Maybe you need to do more than that. I don't know. It should feel really good because it's helping to relax that muscle that we just asked to work. Okay, so now we're going to shift. Okay, big breath. So now I'm going to be here. All right, and I'm going to keep my knees soft, but I'm going to hike this hip. You got it? So I'm taking a little time to really help you understand the hip hike situation. See that? So tighten it again, drop your shoulders, drop your chin, go into your supported leg. Do not lock your knee. It's got to just be soft, okay? Now tighten in, really tighten in, hike that hip up. And when you hike the hip up, you're gonna really feel this engage. Yes! Keep bringing it right here. Breath in through the nose. Keep saying rib cage up. Do not lean forward. Okay, bring the toe off the ground on the leg that's hiked up. Okay, and then just kind of move it back and forth. See, I'm not swinging it. I'm moving it front to back. My tummy is super tight, and every time that it goes back, I want to tighten that gluteal. Okay, that cheek. So what I want you to do is pretend somebody, a nurse or somebody, is coming at you with a big old shot. Ah! I know you're not supposed to tighten, but you do. So tighten it right then. See that? Tighten it right then. So let me just tell you a little trainer's tip here. What I would be watching right now is when you do take the heel back, and I emphasize heel, because I don't want your toe to turn out. But the minute you tighten your butt, so look, you turn your toe out. You didn't even know that. Keep an eye on that because I want this to go front to back. I'm loading, super loading over here. See the hip hike? Woo! Yeah, keep the knees soft. Yes, you're getting all that Great work done in the hip, the back. Okay, now I'm just gonna go around a bit. See, it's a straight leg. Big breath in through the nose, and then come back. So now this hip should have really fired up, okay? Take a big deep breath and just kind of change back and forth. See, change back and forth. Tight tummy, change back and forth. See that? Yeah, just to recover a little bit. Okay, soften the knee, over, boom. Soften the knees. Just back and forth. Hike the hip, hike the hip. Get used to doing a hip hike, especially in rotationals. That will really help facilitate a lot of what we're going to do today. Okay, so get your place prepared. We're going to do quite a bit of work on the floor. Again, don't think this is not for you because you can't get in the floor, because you can do a lot of stuff from the chair. Like for instance, I'll just show you one of the first moves I'm going to do on the floor. I'm going to go to all fours. And if I were going to go to all fours, so do what you can from the chair. And then if you need to get on a couch or a bed or a bench or something like that, go ahead. Or do it from the chair. But you see, if I'm right here like this, I want to go under here with my shoulder, keep my knees bent. Then I want to bring that out, keep my knees bent, and I want to bring my elbow back. See that? And I want to turn my head. I'm going to bring that back, and I want to reach carefully. And if you have a delicate shoulder, just move gently. Check in with your shoulder at every single turn, okay? So if I'm on the floor, which I'm going to be here in just a minute, but for those of you who don't want to get on the floor, put your hands here, bend your knees, tuck your chin, and when you start to turn, you bring that elbow back first. Then you open the arm and do a big swoop. See that? So tuck the chin into the feet, elbow, and then I open and I swoop. See that? So you continue there if you're going to be at the chair. If you're going to come down, then I'm going to come right down. See, I can come down with the chair helping me, or I can come down with my feet into my knees, just like that. See that? So here I go. I'm going to continue that move. So here I am. Take a big deep breath, tuck in my chin. So I'm going to go reach under first. Then I'm going to come back. I'm going to keep my shoulders down. Keep my chin tucked. Bring my elbow over my back and then reach and swoop. Okay? Soft elbows. Bring that arm under. Really reaching under. Okay? Then you're going to come back. Keep your elbow bent. You bring your elbow back. Then you open that arm as far as you can and then swoop. Okay, and I'm doing one and then the other for 3 moves. Okay, so before you go into the next one, and you can do this if you're doing at the chair. If you've got your hands on the chair and you're standing, you can do this. You push your butt back. So push your butt back as far as you can. Come into your elbows. Go as far as you can with your knees, drop your butt. So because my knee is replaced and it's tighter than it ever was, so I can only go a certain amount, but go ahead and put your butt down, but keep your shoulders down. Then I want you to reach one hand up, put your forehead on your fist, and reach out with one hand as far as you can. And then reach over and go as far as you can. Just really push, pull, push, pull. Push, pull, push, pull. Then come back. Do the other one. My forehead is on my fist. I'm going to reach, 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 reach. Reach, reach, reach. And then I'm gonna go over the other side as far as I can. Take a big breath. And then come back and then push your butt back a little bit, as far as you can. Okay, that was just a little break. Okay, did you enjoy it? I hope you enjoyed it. You can do that whole thing right here on the chair, everything. All right, here we go. Second one, take your hand, thread the needle under, drop your shoulders. You're reaching, 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 reaching. You're going all the way down. See if you can actually put your ear down onto the floor. Then you bring it back, drop your shoulders again, bring that elbow over the back, reach all the way as far as you can, and then swoop. Take your other hand under, and here we go. I'm gonna go down until I can try to put my ear on the ground, and then come back. Elbow is soft. Take your elbow back, drop your shoulders. Woo! Drop your shoulders and then reach back over your back as far as you can, and then swoop all the way under. Take a big deep breath. Put your elbows down. Put your forehead on your hands. Then just move back into position, and this is our last one for the opening of the pectoral and then the trapezius, all the way back. You're gonna go under, over, out. You do it really slowly, but you really move into that. And then you do a big swoop. Then you go under, over, out. Get that elbow back first, then open, then bring it around. Big swoop. Then we go one arm, then the other arm. Get your forehead down. One arm, forehead down. Go as far as you possibly can. And what I want you to do is go as far as you can so you can really feel this under here. Okay? So try that. Woo! Take a big breath. And then come back up. Perfect. Okay, so now I'm backing up here because I'm going to go right ahead down into a prone body position. Okay, so this is where you actually could do this against the wall. So some of you are trying to figure these things out. See, pretend that the floor for me is a wall. So if you have a wall, you just get up to it and you put your tummy and your hip bones into the wall. Yeah, just like that. See, if I were standing at a wall like this, with my feet down, I want you to do a hyperextension is what I'm trying to get you to do. You can do it very well on a bed, but you can do this whole thing on a wall. A wall is a huge facilitator for shoulder mobility. It's my favorite position for the K's of the world, because that's where we meet the rack, right? Front and back. So right now we're facing the wall. This is my wall. Got it? I'm putting my elbows under me and I'm pushing into my elbows. Okay? You can do the very same thing on a wall. Yeah, a little different, but you're on a wall. Okay, so see how I'm pushing? Yeah? So could you just suspend yourself right here and keep in the same position without your elbows? Think about that. I know it would be difficult. So what I want you to do, tighten your butt, tighten your tummy, super tight, okay? Sneak one arm out, then sneak the other arm out, keep your chin tucked, and hover right here. And now you're going to move that arm in some of the same ways that we moved our arm in the warm-up. Keep your chin tucked. Woo! Over the head. Over the head. Then I'm going to just try to just touch back here with my hands. then come back. You're holding yourself here. Of course, if you get tired, you put your hands here and just put your chin or your forehead right into your hands, okay? So we're working the back muscles, as you have noticed, okay? So that's why whenever that I set you up into this, we were in an up position. So try that again. Tuck your chin and turn your chin. See, keep your chin tucked, drop your shoulders. So in this position right now, you are not tightening your butt right now, okay? You're releasing it. Take a big breath, drop your shoulders, drop your chin. Here we go. I'm going to turn. I'm going to try to get my chin as close to my shoulder as possible. Then I just come back into center. Big breath in through the nose. Turn. Try to get that chin over the shoulder. Okay, you ready? Now you tighten your butt. Now you tighten your tummy. Because we're going to take one of our arms out at a time. And you're going to sink. But then guess what muscle is holding you? Back extensors. Yes. And I used to get people down in the floor every class. If you remember, at the end of class, we would do a lot of these tasks. Anyway, these are very important to do. So tighten, tighten. Take one arm out. Take the other arm out. Chuck your chin. You're right here. And you're going to go over the head, and then you're going to go out like you're flying. Now pull your shoulder blades together. Woo! Bring them back in like you're putting your thumb in your ear. Keep your chin tucked. Stay up as much as you can. Take a big deep breath. Go up like you're raising your hand. Up. And then go way back and pull your shoulders together. Keep your chin tucked. Shoulders together, chin tucked. Shoulders together, chin tucked. Take a big breath, hold, bring your hands in, push yourself back up, and go to your elbows if possible. Okie dokie. I can tell you loved that. I know you loved it, right? Okay, drop your shoulders, roll, see? Just like that, roll to one side, I don't care which. Take this leg, the top leg, and you're going to pull it back behind you. Now, this leg right here is my hip replaced, okay? So I'm not going to push it, but what I am going to do is see how it's moving. So this is a mobility class. I told you we were going to highlight rotationals. Well, when you are sitting in a chair, or you're laying on a bed, or you're laying on a floor, you can really move differently. You can move wide because you have this as a stability platform. See? See, I'm not injuring, I'm not getting anywhere where I'm putting this hip at risk, because you do have to be careful going back too far, but I feel a stretch right here. That's all I want. And I'm going to bring back. And the whole time that I'm doing this rotational with this leg, this arm, oh my goodness, woo, it has to support me, correct? Yeah, now swing those forward. So now you're right here in a sit down, right? And I'm going to rotate over, and I'm going to bring one leg over. And I'm going to go just like that. And then I'm going to come back. It's a very small move, but you're rolling right across the gluteals. You're rolling. You're placing this foot right here. You're bringing this arm over and back and back. So there's a little gymnastics exercise that you have to do in order to throw your leg over and your arm over. And you have 4 to 6 people sitting in the same way, and you have to throw your leg over, and then you do what's called a centipede on your hands and legs. It's very fun. Anyway, this is the movement. The reason I digressed into that is this is the movement that allows you to do that kind of a range of motion, okay? We throw, see that? and we throw over, all the way over. Then we come back and we come back. Then, if we do that very move, that rotational move, I told you this was about rotations today, right? And I bend my knee, okay? So some of you, I happen to know, have a really hard time sitting in an L position. In fact, I would have already made a modification for some of you by bending your knee, because it will strain your back unless you're understanding and have trained yourself how to move in this position when you're too tight, okay? So bend your knee, just like that. Open back. See this? Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to throw this over like that, but instead I'm moving in here, okay? So I'm on the side and I'm pulling myself toward my knee, okay? I'm trying to do this very succinctly so that you can follow me, because this is an excellent way to get your hips to open up, all right? And you could do this sitting in a chair, you could do it laying on a bed, etc. Okay, so your knee is up here, you're on the side of your hip, right? Your shoulders are down, and you're pulling your whole body into as close as you can to this knee. Now, if you do that successfully, you should be able to feel a nice gentle stretch right here, okay? And see, you can do this kind of a thing in many positions. Okay, now release and come back out and come back out. That should feel so good right this moment, okay? So take a breath, bend your other knee, okay? So what are we gonna do? We're gonna step over the knee, right? We're gonna say rib cage up. You can clasp your hands, do whatever you want to, but you're trying to pull your whole body toward this knee, keeping it upright. Don't let it flop out on you, okay? So I'm coming in here. Woo, take a big breath. Coming in here, take a big breath. Coming in here, take a big breath. Pull it in there, and then release. So this is my knee replace side. So I have just a certain place where I can't go anymore, all right? But I'm keeping my back extended. Say rib cage up, and you come in with your whole body. You don't reach out here with your chin is the point. Pull yourself in, pull yourself in, pull yourself in, pull yourself in, and then come back out, okay? Now, keep your knees just a little bit bent. Take your hands, put them right back here, and then you're going to start sliding them back, okay? Notice how your shoulders are doing. See how I'm going back? And by virtue of going back, many times they will slide out a bit. That's okay. I'll tell you what's not okay in this move. What's not okay is if you have pain in your shoulders, like in your joint, don't keep going out. Just go out a little. This is a normal range, okay? I'm not putting pressure on it. The more I go back here, I can put pressure in it or not. So I'm not putting pressure in my joints here. I'm merely moving them. So what's holding me in this position? My tummy, my core. So as I go back, see, I can do it with or without my arms. What I'm trying to get you to understand is there's some really good ways to help open your core, your chest, your back. Because why? Because we walk around and we do our tasks like this. And especially if you're cold, you tend to have a rounded back, and that's how you move all day. So for a couple of minutes, I'm trying to get you to open this. See? Just like this. Say rib cage up. Now, the reason I had your hands here is because I'm trying to stretch through here. I don't want to hurt the joint. So it's my tummy muscles that's really working here, right? So I'm doing a setback, and I'm facilitating this kind of an open arm stretch by just bringing my hands out here. Keep my chin tucked, and I'm Opening, opening, opening. Now lift your chest, lift your chest, lift your chest, lift your chest, and come up. See that? Big breath in through the nose. Yes. At least breathe in through the nose if possible, and out through the nose if possible. Okay, we're gonna do that one more time. So check your positioning. You can either have your toes up, or you can be in plantar flexion with your toes. Whatever floats your boat here, I don't care. Because I'm trying to get you to open up here, and I'm trying to get you to use your core. Okay? So see, as I'm opening here, as you open back, not to do a sit-up, but do a sit back. If you start to cave, notice and say rib cage up, and come back here where it's really hanging on. Take a big breath, bring those hands open, go back as far as you can. Hang out down here, keep your chin tucked. Bring your chest up, rib cage up, and then come back in. Yeah, I can tell you loved it. Okay, rotate, keep your feet right here. Rotate over to the side and put your elbows there. And yes, you will lift this hip. Okay, but I want you to rotate down. Okay, then you come right back here. And then you rotate down. See, both of my elbows are down. My hip is up. Now, if I wanted to try to put my hip down while I put both elbows over here on the floor, that's when you're going to get a big stretch right through here, right through here. So try to put this hip down and try to put this elbow down. You'll see it's a big stretch right through very tight muscles in your back. Okay, take a big deep breath. Good job. Now, we're going to bring one leg up. I told you rotationals, right? Right. So you may see pictures of people, I don't know, in a lot of different, I won't say the names, exercise practices that are telling you that unless you can bring your feet in here together and lock them together, well, you're just not doing anything. And I would say, that's not true. So here's the deal. I'm trying to get you to open up the hips, open up the chest and back, which we're going to use this kind of a beginning movement phase to do that. So do you see what I just did? So some people that are extremely tight in their hips, in their hamstrings, oh my goodness, just to do this is like a big deal, okay? So I'm just saying, get yourself a comfortable place that you can sit, say rib cage up, and just try to bring your foot into your other leg. That's all. I don't care where. Just try to bring it in there. So this leg, for me, I can get it up to about here. See that? So once you've done that, once you've found where you can get, again, say rib cage up, open at the hip. If you're having a hard time, open at the hip, say rib cage up, grab this leg, and again, pull your whole body into that leg. Once you're in there, see, with a straight back, very extended back, and you're pulling yourself in there, you should be powerful stretches coming up through your hamstring and up through the side of your leg there. Okay, once you've done that, then I want you to just look back and just open that hand right back there, okay? I almost made a joke about backhanding somebody in the back seat, but that would not be politically correct. So act like you're trying to reach something back here while you're pulling yourself in. These are all rotationals, okay? So it's pulling back with the backhand. Say rib cage up, pull in. Yes. Then come back and come back. Release. I know, you're loving it. Remember, you can do this in the bed, and then if you need to take a rest, just lay down. That's how you do that. Okay, my other leg. So this is my hip replaced, but my knee is not as tight. So here I go. See, I'm just going to come here. Anybody with a replaced hip, you know the moves that are contraindicated for you, correct? Whether you have an anterior replacement or an posterior, it's going to be different. So my knee doesn't stop me from coming in here. And I'm not going to pop that hip out. But I can come right here and then push my knee down gently. I'm not pushing it. I mean, just with your own muscles, you're pushing it down so you don't go too far. But what you do is say rib cage up, tuck in my chin, and then pull with this hand yourself in. And it's very different sensation if you have a hip replaced than a knee replaced or both hips replaced. Oh my goodness. So what I'm trying to do is get you to go through some gentle rotational positions that's going to help you. It's going to facilitate you using the hip and the muscles that you still have. Does that make sense? I'm going to release. And I'm going to just hang out here. I'm going to take this arm. I'm going to say rib cage up, pull myself in. And I'm going to open my shoulder again. Say rib cage up, rib cage up, rib cage up, breath, and then come back in and come back in. So those two positions are the beginning part or the modified positions for doing all of that stuff that you see people doing, that there's many people that can't do it, and there's many people that shouldn't go into those extreme positions. But the movement to get us to move better, yeah, that's what we did today. Okay, so put one leg up, put one leg out here. See what I just did? See that little move? These are nuanced moves. See here? See here? There's no way that some of you can get down there and grab that, that toe without bending your leg or bending your back or all that. So here we go again. See this? It's a rotational, a very valuable rotational in more free-flowing motion. Do it correctly and you will not have to go like super far, okay? So say rib cage up, that's number one. I'm going to do this in dorsiflexion, toes up. Then I'm going to just put my hand on my knee and I'm going to act like somebody's behind me. And I never suggest somebody pushing somebody into a stretch. That's a formula for disaster. You're doing this motion on your own. Do you see this rotation? Okay, this right here, this is a huge rotation because my my rib cage is up, my chin is tucked. I'm not leading with my chin. I'm rotating through here. I got my knee up here. I got my toes up. And when I rotate as far as I can, I do not round my back. That's how you make sure that you get the benefit of this move and you don't hurt yourself, especially your back. Your back benefits from it because your back, oh my gosh, it's created for all kinds of moves. But so many of us are afraid to move because we've hurt ourselves. Okay, so I'm doing a rotational. And at first, what did I tell you? I said, just touch your knee, rotate and touch your knee. Keep your chin tucked, rib cage up, rotate like you're doing a hip hinge. So now, see, I'm reaching down and I'm putting my hand right under my foot here. And is that something that if it's just beyond you that you're just like, oh, forget that? No. Do this. Just put your hand here. See? Just do that much rotation. See? And then each time you try to reach down a little further, but you do not compromise your positioning, okay? And you do it several times. You don't bounce. You just move from back. You close the hip angle here, and then you open it. See that? When I open it, I say rib cage up, and then I come back down, and I'm pulling that, okay? So just this move, just going through the modifications to loosen up and open up your core, your spine, your hips. It's a big deal. So I wanted to visit this today. So I'm going dorsiflexion again in my feet. Okay. So what am I going to do? I'm going to just lean in, put my hand on my knee. See that? So toes up. Yeah. Rib cage up, chin tucked. So I'm going to go forward as far as I can and then come back with my hand, right? So the big deal is how far you can close this hip without rounding your back, okay? You might have to bend your knee a little bit, that's okay. I'm wanting to open and close right here, and then it starts getting into the hamstring structures, which are all about hips, okay? So that's why I have you do it several times before you try to reach the toe, okay? Don't come down here and just, somebody's pushing on your back and, oh, see, I hit it. That's not the point. It's the moves leading up to this, okay? 3 more, here we go. Keep your back extended. Big breath into the nose, out through the nose if possible. Come back, take a big breath. Okay, I think that was 3. Okay, really pull on those toes. All right, straighten your back by saying rib cage up and then come back, just like that. Yeah, okay, now we're gonna do our wave. So you can do a wave in the chair. You can do a wave laying on the bed. You can do it with your elbows. You can do it flat. Okie dokie. So if you have a delicate back and you're going down, just like you're going to lay down on the bed, don't go down this way. So if somebody complains to me about a back issue, I will always err with caution. I'll go here and I will roll. See that? And I'm down. Then I can do a wave. See that? Now, while I'm doing that, I'm going to do my rack. Okay, this is a better way to do a rack. So the back of your head, you want touching. Then you want to drop your shoulders and you want to really open up the chest. And you want to bring your hands up over your head, because as your elbows are down and you turn with this wave, do not bring your elbows up. Some of you are going to want to bring your elbows up. Don't do that. So breath in through the nose, rotate. Don't bring your shoulder or your elbow up. Rotate. Don't bring the elbow or shoulder up. They're up here. The backs of the hands are down. Drop your shoulders. Hang out here for just a second. Take a big deep breath. Then come back. Then come down. Yeah, keep your shoulders down, 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 down. Hang out here for a bit. Okay, rotationals again. Okay, you ready? I'm going to add on here. Make sure your shoulders are down. Ready? Rotate in the wave, and then the knee comes up, and then you extend it. Keep your chin down, keep your shoulder on the ground. Take a big breath. Take a big breath. Bring that leg in, bring it up and over, and go the other way. All the way down. Okay? And then extend. Yeah, bring the knee up first. Do not bring that shoulder off the ground. Keep it down. Take a big breath. Take a big breath. In through the nose. Then you come back in with a bent knee. And you're right here and you're ready to roll over. At this point, I used to say roll over and bark. I won't say that now. Get onto your hands and knees. Okay, stay in your hands and knees. I just want to see where we're at. Okay, oh, we're past time. Oh, time flies when you're having fun, y'all. Here I am, toes, fist, push. Hang out here, equalize. and you're up. And that's how you get up without an assist, without a chair, or without somebody helping grandma. Oh, okay. Time is flying. I hope you got the rotationals. Yeah, I do.